Hi my friend, it's Pat Sloan here, and it is Jubilee finale using my So Charmed fabric. Let me just do a little close-up first. Here it is from the back of the room. Well, I have it actually pulled a little bit into the room, so I can't get it all in the camera. But there it is, and I love the white. I think that is what mostly attracts me to this pattern, Jubilee, is I like the white stars being consistent against the whole thing, and then the backgrounds all being different. And then what I did was cut a small little border of this blue from my So Charmed fabric line, and I think I cut it 1.5 inch. Yeah. And that just gives it a nice little frame. That's not part of the pattern. It's just, and it locks all those edges in because I'll get it long armed, and so nothing will pop. Okay, there it is. All right, so the challenge is, no matter where you are in the process of making Jubilee, go ahead and show a photo so that we can all be inspired for those who haven't done as much yet or are trying to get those last blocks done. Go ahead and show them in my group over at Facebook. And if you are just starting or want to see how to make the block and make some tips, my buddy Kendall has done a video. He did a video at the first week, and you can go over to his channel. It's linked below in the description box and in the pinned comment. And you want to sign up for his videos as well because he's very fun and does lots of quilt-alongs, so that you might want to join in on. Now, the jolly trees, the free mystery, Christmas mystery from the Fat Quarter Shop is the layout. But let me show you a couple clips before I show you mine sewn all together. This is how it's laid out before the sashing. There'll be a skinny piece here, a skinny piece here, and then a longer piece dividing it. That way nothing is touching. You're not trying to match up anything. Plus it would sort of bleed in and you'd lose the tree, particularly here. Those would not be so bad, but it just gives this little bit of divider so the trees are all individually set. Remember, these stars are for my Liberty Bell, which I took off the wall. I am thinking of adding a little bit of a border on here rather than having it borderless, which is what the pattern is. I have some extra pieces, but I don't want it scrappy. So I think the green will be nice, and I have green, I have this for the binding as well. So it'll just, I don't even know if it'll be that wide, but I do have white that goes all the way around, like the pattern. And then I think I will add another, maybe a 2-inch, cut 2-inch, I'll test it out. And this is the backing from the line. So pretty. I love it so much. And another thought, this tree, you could make them scrappy, and the look that it's giving is because these are lights, 1, 2, 3, you know, all those are lights, but if you did darks, they would have a whole different feel to the tree. Here it is, here it is. The size is just perfect for my kitchen. It is probably the widest that I would want for the space in my kitchen, but it is the perfect height. So yeah, there we go. Da-da-da-da-da. I think it would also fit between my front door and the window, but that's a little skinnier. I didn't measure that area, but I did try it up here on in the kitchen. So the border is not that wide, because you wouldn't want to do that. There it goes. There we go. Yay! Be sure to show me yours. Yay, 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 yay. A few people have shared all 4 of their tree blocks the other day, so I'm expecting to see some more tops now done. Exciting. All right, as socialites. Now, because I'm going to take a video break for August, the next time I come back on, and I'll say this again in a few minutes, everything will have been released, and I'll put all my stuff up on the wall and show you where things are. So for right now, this is block number 23, and I'm using Joanna Figueroa's Rosy fabric. And this is one of those blocks that has a green in it that I may or may not take out. Let me show you. I could put the digital up, but I actually have the printout. So let me just hold that printout. So here is what I've been working from. That's the colorations that I've been using. And I will be going through and remaking some of the all the settings that have green. I'll take the green out, and then a few of the blocks I'll take the green out as well to give it a stronger kind of red, white, and blue feel with just a little bit of green. That's what I'm planning. So this is my last block you'll see until I come back when I'll show you the last two. I think there's two more for 25 blocks. And then the Fat Quarter Shop gives you the layout. Normally, how they do it is the layout is last. That's how they do it for like 99% of, I think, their quilt-alongs. You get all the blocks, and then the very last day of the quilt-along is the layout. Sometimes they've switched that up, but that's primarily how it is, and so that's what you'll be waiting on. Okay. Now, I did have a few little things come in the mail. This one is from Georgia in South Dakota. She sent me a little postcard. Thank you. And then Peggers in Iowa sent me a sweet card. Look at the sweet card. And she got this mushroom fabric. She was given some fabric, and this piece, let me get it right side. It does kind of have a right side up. There you go. Look how beautiful that is. It looks magical, doesn't it? Because of all the little dots and the kind of glow around the mushrooms. Very, very fall, right? It would be a beautiful fall pillow. I'm leaning towards thinking of it that way. And the mushrooms are tossed, so like you do this way, some of the other ones are right side up. Thank you for thinking of me. You are all so sweet. I have some cross stitch that I'm doing because that's really where I love. That's kind of like my hobby now, is the cross stitch part. So let me show you the Cherished Friends, and this one my buddy Barbara and my friends who helped me, Barbara and the other friends who helped me with kind of monitoring the group, and they're always in the chat and saying hello to everybody for the live chat. She saw this Cherished Friends cross stitch and said, does anybody else want to make it? So a bunch of us have made it, and I'm looking now to pick the fabric for the border. So I'm going to show you some options, and then you can vote. I know you love voting on that. You can tell me in the comments. That's how you vote. That's all it is. Leave a comment here at YouTube telling me which fabric you like for the border. We quilters are extraordinarily good at messing around with fabric options. We could do it for ages and ages. So I have pulled 4 options to talk through. What I need is, I found with these cross stitch that I prefer something that is not evenly spaced, that is more dense for the fabric that goes around it. Plus, it can't be a large print because I'm usually not putting very much fabric. So this is a art gallery piece that I bought a nice chunk of. I think it was on sale, and that's not bad. I don't mind that. I'm okay with that. Then I found, when I was looking through there, this very, very old, it's a Kona Bay Fabrics, very, very old. The company doesn't exist anymore. I've used other variations in a lot of things. What I'm noticing is I prefer this darker versus the lighter. See, let's go back over, look. And this is fine. I like it enough, but I much prefer the darker with the teal. Plus, it's got all these little berry pops, and it's not too big of a fabric print that I can still get in and to see what it is with the border. All right, so I thought, well, let me just try something lighter just to see if my thought was true. And yes, this is a no-go at all. It does nothing for it. It doesn't enhance it at all, even though it's red. And I love the gingham. It doesn't really do anything for this. So then I got a darker red in a small scatter print. And this is also really nice. I like it. One of the pluses for using red is I do have like red here in my studio, so I could hang this in here and it would blend in really nicely. So really it's the red and then this much older, darker teal that are my options. So chime in the comments. Let me know which you like, the dark teal or the red. So we will see what you all think. And here is the Liberty that I'm working on. Oh, just lost the needle in here. It got stuck. There we go. We'll stick it on the cat. So here is my Liberty. Ta-da! I had to do a bit of unstitching on the flag when I first started, because if any of you are doing cross stitch like this, you know, there's no design on the background. And so I have a place where some of my letters are a little bit taller, and I was using them to judge, and that was not working out. So I had to use something else to judge where the positioning was, and then it works perfectly. So I had to do a little unstitching on that guy, which is okay. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's just kind of part of the process, and you just do it and get it over with. If you complain about it or procrastinate, you will waste way more time than if you just take it out. And sometimes you can fudge it. Like, I didn't change the lettering. What I did was find out where the issue was, and I could align the flag in a position, different position, and then it worked out perfectly. So that's how it is. It's kind of a game. It's kind of a puzzle that lets you think through things. The other part that if you want to get involved, is the rain cloud quilt. And the rain cloud quilt we will do in September, which is also when I am going to do the Fat Quarter Shop's free fall Halloween quilt along mystery, which is starting in August. But because I'm not doing videos for most of August, then we'll do it in September together. So for those of you who are like me, who prefer to not have something like that in the summer right now, you can join me in August to sew that free mystery. And then the rain clouds will be afterwards, or sometimes later in September. You know, I'll see how the balance looks, because Socialites should be done and Make-A-Wish will be done. So that'll be good. Speaking of Make-A-Wish, I do have the date. So here's my Make-A-Wish, and that is not, they are raffle. There's either going to be 3 or 4 quilts. They're hoping for 4. That'll be raffled. So you buy a raffle ticket, which is a little nicer than having to auction. Raffles are fun because a lot more of you will participate, and it does make a lot more money for Make-A-Wish. So I hope you will buy raffle tickets. The link to it, although it's not active yet, the link to it is down below in the description box and in the pinned comment. So you know, if you want to play, go ahead and make a mental note, because you're going to have to come back. It's all happening while I'm not doing videos, and so I try to put some auto posts out into the Facebook group if I get a chance. Okay. Now the last thing I would want to show you, just a little bit of getting started on the state sections of the Liberty Bell. What I have is my guide, and if I'm going to do this first section, it'll only take 4 states, but I have 18 inches finished to figure that out. So I just pulled from the stack that has all of these states in it, and I will just grab what's on the top, which looks like Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, and Arizona. So I did get, I don't know if I'm going to continue to do them by state order, that you know, it's serendipitous. That's what I pulled out. So the thing is that if I'm going to do, like, some of these I have more than one state piece, so I could, like, I didn't really want sports stuff, but this one has some sports stuff. And what I have is, hold on one second, I'm going to get a ruler. So I've just put a ruler that's got the 18 inches, and here is my 18-inch mark. So I am just lumping the fabric so that I can get a feel for spacing. Like this Alaska, which is absolutely gorgeous, it's wide, right? But other ones won't be so wide, like Arkansas, like the wording on Arkansas. But Arizona is pretty wide, and like here is just AZ. And I could do like a half and half block for Arizona, like a strip like that. So I have 7 inches finished to work with. So this actually for Arizona would be, Arkansas rather, would be pretty cool because it gives a little bit of change. And I could even do the same thing for Alaska. I could get the state and the other fabric on the bottom. That's not always going to work out like that. But putting it, I could even do that one here. I could do something like this. And then Arizona, so these would all be cut. And then, there's a really nice map of Arizona, and then there's also the license plates. So for this one, it actually might work pretty nicely to double up for each state. And then once I trim them and make them so they're nice, I will probably look at either putting, that seems pretty dull, doesn't it? It doesn't have a lot of life to it, that navy. But if I put red strips in between, little red strips in between each one, let me just open this up like this so that we can get 2 states with red on either side. So just as an audition, this is all auditioning to just get a feel for what I want to do. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool. I think I'm going to, wherever possible, put, since I have 7 inches, like this one is, that state is, I'm going to need 6 inches. So I can only, unless I chop part of it off, so I could only put maybe a little bit of something of this on it. But I think I will. I think I'll accent it wherever possible like that. That'll be pretty cool. Okay. So that is my plan. That's how I'm going to work through things. And I'll do each chunk. And as I get to it, I will do that particular. They're all different, so I can't have a special layout. I have to do it by chunk, by the fabrics and of the states that are in that chunk, and then be sure I can put a tiny little strip in between a lot of them, just to give definition between the states. All right, that's the plan. So I'm on my way with the Liberty Bell, and we will see. I make no promises what I will do when I'm taking a break, because I may not work on it at all. I might work on quite a bit of it. I just don't know what I'll feel like doing. But whatever, when I come back on August 26th, I will definitely have something to show you, whether it's nothing or something for the Liberty Bell. All right, my friend. I hope you've enjoyed making Jubilee with my fabric, or buying my fabric to use in one of your other projects. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.